Welcome inside the Macon Coliseum, home of the Class A Boys Public State Finals. The Warren County Screaming Devils against the Drew Charter Eagles. Game 2 of our quadruple header, day 1 of the Basketball State Championships here in Georgia. And good afternoon, I'm Wiley Ballard, joined by Luke Winstone. Luke, we got a couple of teams here with a chance to win a state championship. Neither of them have ever played in a state final before, and you know the energy's got to be high.
That is for sure. These two teams coming out, the key is going to be who can be more aggressive. Neither team's got the experience here playing in Macon, so it's all about who can come out first today.
Let's begin with Warren County, the Screaming Devils, a team that is playing some really good basketball right now. They've won a ton of nail-biters in this postseason run.
That is for sure. Warren County has been battle-tested all year long, not just in the playoffs, but their ability to win close games has propelled them to this level, and it's partially because of a trio of senior scorers.
Yes, it is, and Lorenzo Johnson, the key player to watch for Warren County, had 23 points in that semifinal win.
That's about right on par with what he does on the offensive side. Lorenzo Johnson can go, he can do anything. He gets the shine for what he does on the offensive side, but defensively, 3 steals per game, can block shots. He is a very well-rounded player.
Meanwhile, for Drew Charter, this is a group that, again, in the state finals for the first time. They're 30-1 this year and got a lot of talent on their side of the ball as well.
That is for sure, and Drew Charter continues to battle. They're a team that comes in and hasn't gotten a ton of attention, or maybe even the attention they deserve with the 30 wins, but Jacoby Strozier has woken a lot of people up around this program. He is the recruited guy. He's got a few offers to his name and really showed out in that semifinal matchup.
So Jacoby Strozier, the player to watch, but plenty of options for Drew Charter. Thrilled to have you with us here as we get set. Let's take a look at our keys to the game for these two clubs. And beginning with Warren County, they've got to neutralize those wings, don't they?
That is for sure. Drew Charter, yes, they have Strozier. He can score a lot, but their wing players do a lot of the damage to opposing teams, the way they spread it around and score.
And then on the Drew Charter side, anybody but number 5, Lorenzo Johnson. He's been the game changer for Warren County. They got to force someone else to beat them and be audacious. This is a group that many expected to be here when the season began. They've lost only 1 game this year. They've won 28 straight, and they've got a chance to make some pretty special history.
Absolutely. For Drew Charter, again, anybody outside of Lorenzo Johnson, that's the focus of your game plan on the defensive end. You've got to make Warren County's secondary and tertiary players step up.
Here's a look at the starting lineups. Joining Johnson, you have Justin Burnett, the junior guard, a playmaker, the floor general, Raekwon Myers, the sharpshooter at the guard spot. Then up front, it's Tyler Collins and Convante Brinkley for Warren County. Led by head coach James Jennings, teaming up with assistant Uriah Myrick. And Warren County, they are 25-3. Now look here at Drew Charter and their starting lineup. Makai Reed being introduced, an honorable mention on the all-region team. Kenyatta Bennett, Cam Johnson, Cedric Taylor, who was brilliant in their semifinal win with 23 points against Social Circle. And of course, Luke, before we begin this game, we've got to address a big storyline, controversy in the semifinal game. In case you missed it, Social Circle and Drew Charter met in a thrilling game. It went to overtime with Drew Charter getting the win. As you get a look at James Jennings, Warren County head coach, and Uriah Myrick, a couple of Warren County alums. But for Drew Charter, they were awarded 2 points in the second quarter that should not have been awarded. Phantom points, if you will. And unfortunately, Social Circle's scorebook, they had it at a 33-26 halftime score. Both Drew Charter and the GHSA official books had 35-26 at halftime at the point of when they got the 3 groups together to talk it over. And GHSA issued a statement. Georgia Farm Bureau opening tip-off are underway. And look, we cannot ignore that is a factor in this one. But with that said, Luke, as disappointing as it may be to have a mix-up like that in a state semifinal, we're here to call this Class 1A public game between Drew Charter and Warren County. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on. And Focus on the two teams on the floor, and what a brilliant start. Cedric Taylor weaves his way to the basket.
Taylor's got a smooth game down low. Good Euro step to get into the rim.
First possession now for Warren County out of Warrenton, Georgia. That's 75 miles northeast of Macon in the northeast corner of the state. And there's Lorenzo Johnson weaving to the rim, and he lays it in.
Lorenzo Johnson is a tough guy to catch up to, and that time he has a knack for getting to the rim.
And off the glass, beautiful finish. Kenyatta Bennett, the sophomore, with the couple. And both teams have come out attacking the rim.
There's some tempo early on here, and for Bennett, his ability to get inside and finish through contact has been impressive here in the playoff run.
Makai Reed behind the back at the top of the key. And rebound belongs to Jacoby Strozier down the right side. Too strong. And a tie up there between Kenvonte Brinkley and Cam Johnson.
You see in the keys to the game, and it's evident when you talk to the coaching staffs that the philosophy for these teams is all about how you come out. Coming out strong and aggressive, it's something new. Instead of being scared of the unknown, you've got to attack it. Both teams really preaching that pregame today.
Justin Burnett handling the ball. Beats his man to the lane. Kisses it off the glass for two.
Well, how about that finish right here early on? Not even 2 minutes in, the team's putting on a clinic for finishing at the rim.
Taylor to the corner. Bennett. And that'll stick with Drew Charter. The Eagles 30-1. Fifth straight playoff appearance. First ever state championship appearance. Led by Samir St. Clair in his second season as Drew's head coach. Three-point try. Cam Johnson sinks it.
Johnson, all-region first team, and part of the reason why is the way he opens up this offense. Hit a really big three-pointer in overtime against Social Circle.
Screaming Devils trying to answer back. Burnett with some good handles, throws it underneath the hoop. And it's Drew basketball. Warren County, meanwhile, they haven't reached the championship game in school history either. The girls program did win a title in '81. But we mentioned Drew Charter and their controversial win over Social Circle in overtime on Saturday at Valdosta State. Down underneath. Johnson can't finish. Screaming Devils surging the other way. Myers hands it off back to Johnson. Well, Warren County, they've won some close games too. They trailed by 10 late in their semifinal win over Manchester. They won by a point. And then in the quarterfinals, it was a circus game winner from Lorenzo Charles to knock off Dublin. Lorenzo Johnson, I beg your pardon. Speaking of basketball in the 80s, Lorenzo Charles. So 7-4, Drew with the lead, and fast pace so far. Both teams shooting the ball well, 50% or better.
Absolutely, and now you're seeing this team for Warren County go into a pressure look here, trying to take it to Drew on the on the defensive end.
Makai Reed trapped in the corner. Out to Cedric Taylor, swinging around. And all the way to the hoop, Strozier can't finish. Burnett gets a step on Strozier. Across the lane, back out. Raekwon Myers, the senior, averaging 11 points per game, tries to enter it in, and Kenyatta Bennett with the bunnies to get up and deflect that entry pass.
Yeah, you're seeing right now Drew Charter in the man-to-man. They've got a lot of length in that man-to-man look, and that's a good example of that. Make it a little tougher here in the half court for Warren County.
Johnson goes baseline, tries to hook it off the boards. No. Offensive board, a third look. Kenyatta Bennett working hard, and he'll go to the line for two. Our first foul of the afternoon.
Bennett, one of the younger players on this team, one of the younger players on this team that's been able to get integrated quickly into the way that they play over at Drew, or for Warren County rather.
Devontae Brinkley.
Yeah, Brinkley there, the senior, part of that scoring trio for Warren County.
It's the second. Now Cedric Taylor ahead to Makai Reed. By the way, that foul was charged to Makai Reed, his first, team second. Cam Johnson also with a foul here in the early going, midway point of the first quarter. And a turnover right into the hands of Tyler Collins. Reed down to a knee. Collins hands it off to Johnson. Wing three, Collins way too strong. Corralled by Brinkley. Hanging and hitting. Raekwon Myers, his first basket. Already 6 different players on the floor have hit a bucket so far. First sub waiting to check in for Drew Charter. Taylor to a corner three for Bennett. That three off the mark. Myers spin move and the finish. Spin cycle. Raekwon Myers got quick 4 points, and Warren County with their first lead.
Well, he has got tremendous handles for Warren County. A lot of individuals with some strengths of their own, unique strengths, and that's a huge one for him.
Bennett's J, too much on it. Second chance, Cam Johnson's got 5.
Johnson banging around inside for that bucket.
First team all-region performer, 1 of 3 in the starting lineup for Drew. Undefeated in Region 6. Going baseline. Nothing there for Justin Burnett. And we've got our first subs. It'll be Bryant Triplett, BJ Triplett, who also had a huge three-pointer in overtime against Social Circle. He's in for Drew. And Rashad Myers, a senior off the bench. One of their lockdown defenders wearing number 2 in black for Warren County.
And Myers, a senior. It's a very senior-laden Warren County team. They've been chipping away at this for a while to get here.
Johnson's three-pointer won't fall. And after securing the rebound, Johnson is hassled from behind. It'll be on Kenyatta Bennett. It's his first, team third. Warren County yet to commit a foul. First quarter, the Class A Public Boys State Final. And now Israel Meggett, the junior, will step in for Drew Charter. Kenyatta Bennett takes a seat with his first foul. Pretty clean game so far, Luke. It's been fast-paced, and both teams appear evenly matched the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, smooth overall. These guys are tremendously skilled each way. And again, point to the wings for Warren County as they come down the floor, really adding a different dynamic to their team that makes their offense unique, the different handling abilities, shooting ability they have.
Meggett picks it off. He'll take it to the rim. It's jabbed loose. Burnett can't quite save it, but he does buy his team a chance to get set defensively.
There's Meggett coming up with it for Drew Charter. The defensive options for their squad have been strong throughout the year.
Entry pass goes to Strozier. Three-point try. Bottom. Cedric Taylor with a triple.
Cedric Taylor got things off to a good start for Drew. Comes and brings the momentum with the three. One of the big guys on this team, but he can play inside or out.
Johnson spins away. She's guarded by Triplett, and he hits it just inside the free throw line for 2. Johnson's got 4.
These two teams going at it for Johnson. It almost feels like no matter what you do, he's going to get his.
Deep three-pointer, too strong from Strozier. Heaved ahead, had to wait on it. Floater no good from Devontae Brinkley. Taylor puts it on the floor. Good defense there, jabbed by Rashad Myers. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Surging in, oh, Meggett, everything but the roll. The Eagles ahead by a point. Screaming Devils of Warren County with the basketball. Behind the back pass. Burnett. Crossover in the lane. Kick out. Three-pointer. Myers. Off the rim, no good. Meggett with the board. Fed ahead. Triplett. He's hacked. He'll go to the line.
Right now, Drew's been able to find some success trying to go out in transition, getting Warren County off guard. They're a team that likes to run. They run well together. They've bonded. Again, these seniors over the years have got the type of team that gets out. They know each other and where they are on the floor like the back of their hand. They'll be able to get out and attempt these easy buckets, this time drawing the foul.
Triplett, honorable mention in Region 6. First free throw is good. Already, Luke, we've now seen 4 different players score for Drew Charter, and 4 different players have scored for Warren County. Is Quavian Jones, the freshman.
That's for sure. These teams can run deep. Their first 7 overall have been very dynamic. A couple of good scoring options off the bench on each side. You're going to likely have the type of game where the winner has 3 guys in double figures, or even 4, judging by what we've seen from these guys in the playoffs. It's been balanced efforts all the way for both teams.
Johnson, guarded by Triplett, gets around his man, dump off to the block, and what a rejection, Cedric Taylor! Comes down hard on Convante Brinkley, and it'll be Drew basketball.
Cedric Taylor is an absolute difference maker on the floor. Provides length in that man-to-man Drew's been playing on the defensive side. That time, some rim protection. He has been very solid today and just a playmaker for that team all year long.
Already 2 blocks in this first quarter. He ripped it loose, and the jump ball belongs to Warren County. Johnson's got to put it up. He does. It's way off the mark, and that'll end the first quarter. 8 minutes in the books. Drew Charter, a 3-point lead over Warren County. You're watching the Class 1A Public Boys Basketball Championship on the NFHS Network.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Georgia Farm Bureau. With experienced agents in every county in the state, Georgia Farm Bureau knows Georgia. Georgia Farm Bureau, always the home team. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
Girls, I guess just
14-11, start of the second quarter. Drew Charter with a 3-point edge over Warren County. Wiley Ballard joined by Luke Winstall, and so far, Luke, we've seen a pretty good first quarter. High-quality basketball. Both teams not turning the ball over too much. Each shooting the ball relatively well, and most importantly, they're playing loose and free in this high-pressure environment.
you wouldn't know that these teams have never been to a state title game the way they're playing. And right now for Warren County, they've got the edge in terms of rebounding. That's been the bright side for them. Down by a few through one, but both sides have got to be happy with the effort from their squad in the opening quarter.
Cedric Taylor will inbound, junior first team all-region. And he's off to a good start. He's got 5 points, tied with Cam Johnson for the most in this game. Taylor's also blocked a couple shots. So Drew ahead by 3 and with the basketball. 3-point try, triplets, got the triple as he falls to his knees. Third three-pointer for Drew Charter in this state final. Quickly trying to answer the other way, reverse layup, no from Raquavian Jones. Back up, and Convante Brinkley will get 2 attempts from the free throw line.
Yeah, Brinkley, somebody that battles well inside. He has been an impressive player already. A few times down the floor for Warren County.
foul goes against Jacoby Strozier, his first, team first here in the second quarter. Free throw no good from Brinkley. One more look here at this three-pointer from Triplett. He went down to his knees there as the defender was closing out hard.
Yeah, you know that Drew County can shoot it, Drew Charter can shoot it really well. And that time it's a late closeout, enough time to get that shot off. Very well done by Triplett, hitting under pressure.
Brinkley 2 of 4 from the free throw line, it's what you expect from a 49% free throw shooter. 5-point edge for Drew. They've led by as many as 6. Megan in the corner. Bounce pass feed. Taylor. Triplett again. That one off the front rim and out. Myers across the timeline. Into the lane. Kick out. 3-point try. No good. Raekwon Hill hit the deck on that attempt as he is checked in for his first minutes. Strozier nearly lost it. Tries to go up and a foul called.
How about the hand control, the body control for Strozier as that ball's batting around to corral it, take it to the hoop and draw the call.
And that'll put Strozier at the line. First foul on Convante Brinkley.
Well, Drew Charter, when they've been running the floor, they've been getting layups. When they've been in the half court, they've been getting some three-pointers to go. Their team right now on the offensive side has been firing on all cylinders, and here you go, another look at the play.
Didn't look like Brinkley was necessarily trying to foul, but he impeded the movement of Strozier, so second free throw for Strozier is good. He makes 1 of 2. And he's on the board. 6-point edge for Drew. Drew out of the Atlanta area and that Eastlake development down by Charlie Yates Golf Course and Eastlake Golf Course. And Brinkley quickly with the bucket. He's now got 4 points. Lead down to 4.
Brinkley scoops up the miss down low, takes care of it. Warren County with some quick points.
Around the horn. And Meggett turns it over. He was looking for Cedric Taylor, who was cutting in. That pass a moment too soon.
Warren County on the defensive side, a very athletic team, shifting well that time. Ball trickles off, and they've won the ball back.
Warren County's won 16 straight. They went undefeated in region play, champions of Region 7. Lorenzo Johnson's been quiet so far in this second quarter. And what a wild spin, one-handed float. Rashad Myers finds a way to bury it. He's normally a defensive specialist that time. Shows off some offensive skills, and Warren County has cut it to 2.
He comes off the bench, and he's one of those players that, yes, he's known on the defensive side, but today you've got to get him to step up on the offensive end. He does on that play.
That'll give him a longer leash on the floor, too. And a turnover as Cedric Taylor got too cute between his legs. And just like that, Warren County gives it right back. And timeout called by head coach Samir St. Clair. A look at assistant coach Uriah Myrick and James Jennings, a couple of Warren County alumni. Coach Jennings, class of '98. Coach Myrick, class of 2010. And for Coach Jennings, he handles more of the skill development, whereas Coach Myrick's all about the X's and O's.
For sure, and those two complement each other really well for Warren County. You look at coaching duos that try to get their teams to this point, you have to work really well together. They've got some great chemistry, and the way that those two complement each other off the bench has propelled Warren County to this game.
Drew Charter, meanwhile, they're playing in their first state championship in school history. They made the playoffs 5 consecutive years. Second year under head coach Samir St. Clair. It was James Williams before them. And St. Clair in his time at Drew Charter, 55-2. They've lost 2 games in his 2 years. They lost in the quarterfinals to Dublin last year. And then they lost to Grayson, a 7A school, in November of this season.
For anyone to go play a 7A, especially a team in this division here, 1A Public, takes a lot of guts to go do it. They did. It's gotten them prepared for this level of play.
They've made their 85-mile trek down from Atlanta to Macon, hoping to bring a trophy in tow. Over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Makai Reed, good look. Better contest that time from Raquan Myers the other way. Off the glass, Convante Brinkley lays it in. And the senior, who averages 11 a game, has got 6 points in the first 2 quarters.
Brinkley's been able to score in some different ways today out on the floor. The way that he moves down to get that job done, and you can see exactly why he scores in bunches so often.
Jacoby Strozier still looking for that first field goal. He has begun 0 for 5 now. Into the hands of Rashad Myers. Guarded by the lengthy Taylor. Kick out, three-pointer, way too strong. And now Johnson's got to race back. Here comes Cam Johnson. The reach in behind will be a foul on Rashad Myers. It's a 6-0 run for Warren County to tie this one up over the last 2.5 minutes. Drew hasn't scored in the last 2.5 minutes.
Warren County tightening up on the defensive end, rebounding well here lately.
See Strozier sort of tilting the head there, trying to get Makai Reed to flash open in the corner. Now back to Strozier, down the left side of the lane. It's swatted away by Lorenzo Johnson. Now Raquan Myers inside the perimeter. Rashad Myers can't get it to fall, and they'll say, yep. Foul on the floor. It'll stick with Warren County.
That play begins back with Lorenzo Johnson, the playmaker. Going to take one more look, shifting over, and the timing is impeccable on that shot block.
That's a second foul on Strozier. 2 team fouls for either side in the second quarter. Myers, he's taken down. I think they're going to get Cam Johnson for the foul. That's his second. And timeout called by Warren County. That's their first.
For Warren County, it's a team that holds themselves to high standards with the coaching tandem. And right now at this point on the offensive end, you've done some good things. You mentioned that run they had of 6-0. That's been the bright side. On the other hand, you'd have to think that they can do a little more on the offensive side. There's been some possessions where they like to have a little more composure in that attacking portion. So for Warren County, for all the time out here, you've got the ball. You're in a good position, but sharpening up some things can help you run away and get closer to having that margin you want going into halftime.
Here's a look at Drew Charter's road to the finals. Defeated Wilkinson County by 3 in the quarter, Social Circle in overtime, and we touched on the controversy surrounding that game, a game that went to overtime, tied at 56 at the end of regulation. But at halftime of that game, Social Circle's book had it 33-26, but the Drew Charter scorebook had it 35-26. GHSA's neutral third-party score also had it 35-26, and unfortunately, after reviewing the tape, it was clear it should have been only 33 points for Drew, but alas, GHSA rules does not allow for video review, and once the game was called final, by the high school rules, there's nothing else that can really be done, and Drew is in this state final. But again, a team that's more than state championship talented and worthy, 30-1 this year. As the lay-in goes for Cam Johnson, he's now got 7 points, leading Drew. The other way, Burnett's circus scoop no good. Taylor leads the breakout for the Eagles. Finds Reed, gets his man in the air. Can't finish, batted around. Burnett, another board, but right back to the Eagles. Three-pointer trigger, too strong. Taylor gets his own miss. Now Kenyatta Bennett will try and slow it down.
Well, Taylor's got his footprint all over this game, picks up the assist, gets it done on the defensive end. Again, he is electric, a huge spark for Drew Charter today.
Had 23 points in that semifinal victory over Social Circle, including game-tying free throws in the final 20 seconds. Taylor left his feet, quickly unloads to Strozier. His three-pointer hits the back iron, and it's batted out of bounds. And it'll be Drew Charter basketball. Tyler Collins returning to the floor for Warren County. Coach Jennings calls him a junkyard dog. He's relentless on both ends of the floor, and it has a tremendous basketball IQ to go along with that energy.
He plays like it. Every team needs a Tyler Collins type player that brings the scrappiness and that blue-collar attitude every day.
And that pass picked off, fed ahead to the rim. Ooh, and a big collision up top. Cedric Taylor stamps out that dunk attempt. Eagles the other way. Corner three, Bennett. That one's short. Rebound hauled in by Cam Johnson.
There he is, the playmaker. Meet me at the rim, Cedric Taylor. Well done.
He stifled Lorenzo Johnson. Cam Johnson, meanwhile, gets his short lay-in from the baseline to fall.
Yeah, Cam Johnson has established himself well today. He's done his thing on the offensive end. He's showing that he is more than comfortable here in Macon today.
Johnson had 13 points in the semifinals. He's already got 9 today. Quick J from Justin Burnett. He's got 4. And the lead back down to 2.
Yeah, Justin Burnett's that floor general for Warren County. When you need something, he'll give it to you. And that time, stopping the bleeding, stopping the momentum from heading back that other way.
Largest lead has been 6. Three-pointer from Taylor, way off the mark. Triplett tried to save it, but Warren County controls it. They're still looking for their first three-pointed made basket. That's a 2, and it's good as it swirls in. Raekwon Myers has 6, and we're tied at 22.
Myers is an entertaining player to watch. You see him with the handles on the floor, the pop-up jumper. He can create his own shot as well as anybody out here.
Loose ball on the floor. Johnson has it. Steps on the gas. Tries to scoop it in. No. Loose ball. Burnett's got it. 45 seconds to play in the first half. And now Warren County will slow it down. Brinkley turns his face towards the rim, and he gets the lay-in. Devontae Brinkley with 8 points, 7 in this second quarter, and Warren County ahead.
Right now, Warren County going with Brinkley, going as he goes throughout this quarter. And they are relying on that senior to make up for some of the attention that he's able to get on the ball with Lorenzo Johnson pulling so much attention his way.
A marvelously entertaining first half and a great crowd on hand. Warren County forces the turnover. Johnson lays it in. Half-court heave for Reed. It'll go. Or if it's good if it goes. It doesn't. And it's a 26-22 lead for Warren County as they close out the first half on an 8-0 run. The Screaming Devils with a screeching finish to the end of the second quarter will step aside. Warren County up by 4.
It's that time of year again. Time to embrace our community. Time for individual preparation to pay off and collective performance to reach new heights. So we join together and work to strengthen our bonds. Because it takes a community to achieve greatness. Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, always the home team.
No one told me the aftermath of meth would last this long. I feel empty, trapped, unable to feel anything. Meth drains your body of dopamine. But don't let meth rob you of your happiness. Learn more at unmaskingmeth.com.
Georgia's EMCs understand that how you power your day matters. We share the power of solar and other renewables with members interested in our clean energy portfolio, working to help you power on in good conscience. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
DBHDD's Red Ribbon campaign is about all Georgians standing together for substance abuse prevention. Stay in the game and live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
The Screaming Devils of Warren County hold a 4-point edge over the Drew Charter Eagles in the 1A Public Boys State Championship. Thrilled to have you with us here at the Macon Coliseum. We welcome you courtside. I'm Wiley Bandler, joined by Luke Winstill. And Luke, we saw a fast-paced first half. What jumped out to you?
Well, some things that stand out to me. Warren County is playing a very well-rounded game, doing a lot of things right. Look at their pain points. They're up 16-10, scoring off turnovers with 8 of those in the first half of play. Some things on the defensive end translating well to the offensive side. For Warren, they've rebounded well. They set the tone in that first quarter, had a really good rebounding quarter, and continued that into the second, where they've been able to make shots in transition, go down the floor, play even sometimes some basketball where you don't have the assist coming. It's 1 assist on 12 makes, but you've got guys individually showing up. They're doing the job, and Warren County overall has had a fantastic first half performance.
Meanwhile, for Drew Charter, they've gotten some balanced scoring over the course of the year. They've gotten 9 first half points from Cam Johnson, 5 from Cedric Taylor. He's been a factor as well defensively around the rim. However, Jacoby Strozier, 0 for 6 from the floor. They've got to get more from him in the second half.
It's surprising. We barely mentioned him. He's got offers from some in-state powers or in-state schools in the basketball level like Kennesaw State, Georgia State. He's got an Xavier offer. The recruited guy that a lot of us are looking at coming in is the name that we see on social media. And the guy that puts up these highlight plays, they've not gotten him going for Drew once they do, and if they can in the second half, that's where they begin to go on their runs, and they look strong. But Taylor has been incredibly impressive. He's a flashy player, had the big block on the defensive end in transition. He can do a lot of different things for you, including hitting a 3. The way he stepped up, the way Cam Johnson found a rhythm early has kept Drew close.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, too, with Drew's defense. They've turned over Warren County 6 times. They've also blocked 3 shots, forced 3 steals of their own. And on the flip side of that, Lorenzo Johnson, the one name we haven't talked about a whole lot either, he's got 6 points. He was the guy to watch for Warren County, averaging over 22 points per game. He hasn't played that leading role yet, but I expect him to take over in the fourth quarter.
Johnson is the type of player that has the star power of no matter what happens, he's going to get his in most games. But in this one, it's been a very good job from Drew Charter to limit him, to keep him off the ball a little bit. And when he's off the ball, make sure that he's not becoming a factor with backdoor cuts or off-ball movement. It's been a spectacular performance to try to limit what he's able to do today.
Those are our first half thoughts. When we come back, we'll take a look at some first half highlights as well as some numbers. Warren County, a 26-22 edge in the 1A Public Boys Basketball State Final on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Warren County leads 26-22, 2 quarters in the books. Let's take a look at what we saw in the first 2 periods of play. A lot of up and down track meet style basketball. But we begin with a play from the inbounds, and a pretty just basic 3-point trigger there from Cam Johnson. He had a Drew Charter high 9 points. Raekwon Myers, sharpshooter, showing some good moves here.
When you look at these highlights, there's some things that stand out, and it's been good execution. The guys are able to finish. They look confident out there. That time you look at some of the 3 balls from Drew. It got their offense going out to an early lead, and that ability for them to execute today has been very strong on both sides and very impressive.
And there, Convante Brinkley finishing. And Warren County has yet to make a 3 so far this afternoon. And like you mentioned, Drew's kind of been kept afloat by their 3-point shots. And the Streaming Devils closed out that first half on a 6-0 run. Drew led for the majority of the first half, over 10 minutes of the total 16 minutes they had to lead. But this feels like it's going to be a back-and-forth affair. We've already had 3 lead changes, 6 times we've been tied. And one final highlight. Smooth J that time from Raekwon Myers, the senior, who had 6 first half points. Got some great handles. Here's a look at your first half stats. What jumps out to you here, Lou?
When you take a look right now at the field goal percentage, Warren County's been efficient. The rebounding's been good. Turnovers are even. So when you look at what stands out, it's very even across the board, but the thing that's propelling Warren County has been their ability on the boards, and that in the first quarter, when Drew went on some of their run towards the end of the quarter, beginning of the second, has kept them in the game, but also Warren County's ability, and you see it through some of the numbers of points in the paint or points off turnovers, to convert, get things not just in transition, but in the half court. They've played multiple styles very well today.
Let's take a look at our players to watch comparison. Lorenzo Johnson, 6 points, 2 rebounds. He also got a couple of the steals. Jacoby Strozer's been very quiet. 0 for 6 from the field. He's got 1 of 2 made free throws. He's had a couple of assists thus far, but they need him to contribute more in the scoring column.
That is for sure. For Strozer, we're used to getting him in double figures every time out. We have not seen that in the first half, and the colleges and the people around the country that know his name and have scouted him know exactly what he can do, and Jacoby Strozer is someone that we expect to come on very strong in the second half, or else Drew Charter will have a tough time on the offensive side.
We've got that second half coming up for you next. It's Warren County 26, Drew Charter 22. Just minutes away from third quarter action in the 1A Public Boys Basketball State Final.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are a Farm Bureau.
The Governor's Office of Highway Safety is proud to sponsor the 2022 GHSA Basketball Finals for Macon. Whether it's across town or across the country, buckle up and be safe on every trip. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Buckle up, Georgia.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Georgia's EMCs are lighting up lives in your local community. Our co-ops manage an expansive utility distribution network, and since we're member-owned, we work for you. Here to serve, here to stay. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
No one told me the aftermath of meth would last this long. I feel empty, trapped, unable to feel anything. Meth drains your body of dopamine. Don't let meth rob you of your happiness. Learn more at unmaskingmeth.com.
Start of the third quarter, less than 60 seconds away. Warren County leads Drew Charter 26-22. This is game 2 of our quadruple header on day 1 of 4. the GHSA basketball championships. Lake Oconee Academy took down Hancock Central 45-30. Both those teams appearing in their first ever state finals, as is the case in Game 2. Warren County and Drew Charter, so great representation, new faces in these 1A public games. And we've got a couple more good ones on tap for you. Luella and Marist facing off after this one a little over an hour from now. And then Spencer and Westover, the nightcap, if you will, set to close things out on the 4A boys side.
All kinds of action up ahead, and this one, what stands out about 1A, the freshness of the teams, the parity that we've had within the league over the past 3, 4, 5 years or so with the different champions. And for Drew Charter, a team that's going to come out here on the defensive end, last year you felt like you were really close. You had 25 wins coming in before you lost in the playoffs in that one. For Warren County, it's a 25-win season. These teams have been racking up the victories, not just this past year, but even before in their time in the programs. It is their time to shine here in Macon. Warren County coming out with the ball.
Warren County defeated Dublin in the quarterfinals. Each of the last 2 playoff wins, Luke, in the quarters and the semis came from a single point. 61-60 in overtime against Dublin and 49-48 against Manchester. And the man who hit the game winner in both those games, as that three-pointer is short, but the stick back good from Convante Brinkley, Lorenzo Johnson. He had 3 go-ahead buckets in the fourth quarter alone of that semifinal win over Manchester. First offensive touch for Drew Charter. Largest lead of the day for Warren County at 6 points, an 8-0 run dating back to the second quarter. Fired inside. Johnson turning, going up, right hand, left it short. Tapped back out. Makai Reed retrieves it. Swatted away, what length. Raekwon Myers has been all over the place. Bennett, a 3, around the rim and out. And the rebound corralled by Raekwon Myers.
Myers, one of those guys, especially on the defensive end, very pesky, very hard to deal with. He plays with high energy, and he's all over you.
That was his 5th rebound. Around the horn. Burnett has the ball jabbed loose by Strozier. Fed ahead on a couple of bounces to Johnson. Into the lane. He's got his man in the air. And Cam Johnson. He's the first Eagle into double figures. He's got 11.
Johnson continues to play under control. He's added the offensive presence that Drew has needed today, as he has really stepped up to make up for what Strozier's not had on the offensive end yet.
Short corner jumper from Lorenzo Johnson. This will get him to the line. Foul is going to go against Makai Reed. That's his second. Johnson trying to find his shot. He had 4 points in the first quarter, only 2 since. Says he wants to study engineering in college. This is a young man I feel confident will get the chance to play in college, a senior, but has not determined where that will be.
Whenever you score the way Johnson has, you're going to get your shot at the collegiate level. And again, for him, it's the well-rounded play. He's able to do a lot on the defensive end, and you've got Drew Charter saying anyone but 5. And when you have that kind of a declaration from a coaching staff, you know exactly what that means for a player like Lorenzo. Can take over a game.
He's now got 8 points. Lead stretched back out to 6. Johnson double team, squirts through. Makai Reed puts it between the legs of Taylor. Now Johnson hanging, nearly dropped it in. A volleyball rebound. And it's Strozier who winds up with it. Still only 1 point. Jacoby Strozier is 0 for 6. You have to take a shot in the third quarter and a quick turnover.
Warren County's half-court defense here in the third quarter has picked up a few impressive moments on that end, and right now they've extended things out to a 6-point lead.
3-point try. It'll fall for Raekwon Myers. 36% three-point shooter, and that forces a timeout from Drew Charter. Largest lead of the day for Warren County. This is quite a run, 15-2 for the Screaming Devils.
That is wild right now for Warren. As you hit that tray, you're getting more points off turnovers here. You've played about 18 and a half minutes right now, and you've got double-digit points off turnovers. Whenever they have gotten the stop on the defensive end, their ability to convert has been making the difference.
That was the first three-pointer Warren County has hit today. This is another group that has kind of been trending in the right direction over the years with Coach Myrick and Coach Jennings. They went 7 and 15 in year one, 17 and 6 in year two, 13 and 6 in that COVID shortened or affected year three last year, and now 25 and 3. Keep in mind, in year zero, they won the middle school championship. The seniors on Warren County's club won the 8th grade title. So they've done a lot of winning over their time at Warren County.
That is for sure. You look at guys like Brinkley, one of our notes here, is he came up big in the middle school playoffs.
Yes, he did. Not this year. They didn't bring him down for that. That was years ago, but yes.
Absolutely. And when he was in middle school, really big in those playoffs. And for Warren County, this run has been building. It's all come down to this.
So 9-point lead, largest of the day. Bennett trying to put a dent in it. He will! Kenyatta Bennett drills it. His first bucket since the first quarter, and when Drew Charter needed it most. An answer perhaps, just a millimeter too long from Bryant. I beg your pardon, that's Lorenzo Johnson.
Wiley, I hope you saw that. Coach Sinclair did basically jumping jacks after that tray.
How hot is Bennett? Not hot enough for a second three in 60 seconds. Collins the board.
Just when you think Drew Charter's starting to go down or in a tough spot today, they've been able to hit a three, and it's been the bailout to this point of keeping them involved. They do have to get more going in the paint, but they have been getting second life from some three-point makes.
Myers to the wing. Burnett off the glass. That one won't fall. Cam Johnson with the rebound, surveying the floor. Three-point try, triplet. Just left it short, a little left. Been pretty quick one-and-done possessions for both teams here in the second half.
And you look at Drew Charter, about almost half their points have come off the three ball here today.
Making Cedric Taylor test out his vertical with those high passes. And a turnover. Good press defense there by Cedric Taylor and Jacoby Strozier. Even if Strozier hasn't contributed much offensively, he's still been a presence defensively.
Strozier, no matter what he does on the offensive end, will always be a presence on the floor. Brings a lot of length and a very high IQ to the Drew Charter team, helping out higher up on the floor to turn that ball over.
After Justin Burnett walks, he's subbed out. Rashad Myers enters the game for Warren County, wearing number 2 in black. Cam Johnson, three-point play opportunity. The senior came to play.
That time you see the ball movement. The ball swings around for Drew. Strozier up top, draws some attention, then swings it over. Ball comes down to Johnson, and Cam again, when Drew's needed a finish, doesn't matter what kind of look it's been, he's been coming through. He's put the team on his back here today.
Foul charge to Convante Brinkley. Johnson's free throw doesn't fall, but this is still a 5-0 mini run for Drew Charter. They've cut the lead to 3. It's been as many as 9 here in the third quarter. Down low from one block to another. Brinkley's Johnson, the hot hand, no, but he'll have a chance for a couple from the line.
That time for Drew Charter, triplet, who's hit some threes today, draws 2 men out to the three-point line, sends it inside for Johnson, lets him bang away, and Cam pulls out another foul call and another trip to the line here in the third quarter.
They've actually gone back and changed one of Drew's threes to a 2. So 35-29 your score until that made free throw there from Cam Johnson. So now 35-30. And he hits them both, so lead to 4.
Now, what is it about Cam Johnson? He's got the wide shoulders. He positions his body well, and he's been able to use that inside to get to the stripe today.
And he's not afraid of contact either.
That's for sure.
On the wing, skip pass. Johnson with the ball in his hands. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. Trying to find Brinkley underneath. Last touch by the Drew Charter. It'll stick with Warren County. Macon Coliseum, side of the 2022 state basketball finals here in Georgia. At the free throw line, Jones loses it. Ninth turnover for Warren County today. It spits out to Bennett. Pass picked off. Jones to the rim. Leads it home. Lead back to 6.
Well, there is Jones getting it done. He is a freshman, and the way that he's come out providing an energy boost for his team off the bench.
Corner 3-ball triplet. Rattles around and falls in. BJ Triplett, his second 3 of the day. And the lead halved.
When you need a 3, who do you go to for Drew Charter? You look for momentum. It's been Triplett all day from beyond the arc.
Drew's 5 of 16 from long range today. Jarred loose. Here comes Cedric Taylor, and he has it knocked out from behind. Good defensive pursuit. Rashad Myers racing down Taylor, making sure he didn't have an easy dunk.
Well, that is fantastic effort from Myers. Again, one of the senior leaders on this team, a guard off the bench for Warren County. And that time it looked like we're going to get a highlight out of Cedric Taylor until that play stopped at the very end. Now you've got the timeout. Warren's up 3. For both teams, you feel like you're in a good position. For Drew, you're in striking range. You've weathered the storm of that Warren County run where they had the 15 points in that period of time. 15-2 run it was. And Drew Charter has come back with a run of their very own, the type of response we've expected and come to know them for.
Samir St. Clair, the head coach for Drew Charter. Basketball has taken him a lot of different places. He's coached in Japan and in Dubai. And he's trying to make sure his Eagles find a way to claw their way all the way back. Trailed by as many as 9. That was about 4 minutes ago. They've cut it down to 3. They've got a chance to trim it even more.
And as you look around here on this end of the floor, Drew has got quite the passionate crowd. The advantage, it looks like, in that category today, all behind their team and this momentum.
Dangerous inbounds. Johnson intercepts it. And he'll send it towards the rim. Didn't fall. Triplett gives it off to Cam Johnson. Look, Cam Johnson, he has been the man for Drew. Trying to get Jacoby Strozier going, though. He still hasn't made a basket, hasn't taken a shot in the third quarter, and I think the Eagles may have stepped on the end line there.
Yeah, and that's Knox Strozier. He's been in the position where he's had teammates open. He's felt comfortable passing off the ball, trusts his guys, and he hasn't felt the need at this point to try to ISO anybody or take things into his own hands or go crazy on his own. He's just played his role today, and right now it hasn't been a whole lot of scoring for him.
But as you pointed out, he's been a distributor. He's got 4 of Drew's 8 assists on the day. Rashad Myers floating towards the hoop. Picks up his second bucket. The lead is back to 5.
There it is. He's known for the defense, shows up on the offensive end. Warren has had all kinds of role players step up, and Myers has been one of the best.
Cedric Taylor. Now Israel Meggett, who just checked in. Less than 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Johnson guarded closely by Raekwon Hill. take me inside both benches right now, or both huddles beginning this fourth quarter, Luke. What do you think Drew Charter was preaching in their end?
Well, for Drew Charter, you've done a lot of things right to this point. If you can rebound a little better and keep Warren County away from these second chance points, or especially the paint points right now, which is where Warren's done their damage. If you can be just a little bit better on the inside and protect that rim better, you'll have the edge and be able to, on the offensive end, take advantage of the plethora of weapons that they've got. For Warren County on their side, again, it's a team that's played a good game. They've rebounded well. They've been the scrappier team. They've gotten some of those, again, second chance opportunities, getting some inside buckets, and fighting hard for some of these loose balls today.
Warren County with a +7 margin on the glass. Cedric Taylor bothered by Brinkley. Now Strozier tries to spin around Myers, help defense. Lorenzo Johnson knocks it out of bounds, and will stick with Drew.
Now Warren County all year long averaging almost 14 steals per game. Today, right now, they're at 9. They've continued to force turnovers, which on the defensive end has been the highlight.
Strozier trying to inbound in front of his own bench. Got to give it to somebody. Taylor breaks free. Triplets hit a couple of threes already this afternoon. Strozier, ball in his hands. Still without a made basket as we begin the fourth quarter. Didn't take a shot in the third. It's Meggett, baseline. He's blocked away. Raquavian Jones. And a jump ball. It'll belong to Warren County.
And here's what's interesting about Strozier. He's got the height advantage, but he's being guarded by Rashad Myers. It tells you Rashad Myers is an eraser. He can just take people away. He's done that today. Strozier's been touching the ball here in the second half, but not willing to strike on the offensive end. Myers is taking care of that.
Jumper won't go. Meggett bobbles the pass. Close to a double dribble there. Strozier close to a walk. Meggett into the lane. No. Johnson. Yes. But I think before the shot went up, it was a foul against Meggett, so he'll get 2 free throws. But I think that's a great point you make about Strozier. Rashad Myers, their best defender, comes off the bench, and he has eliminated Jacoby Strozier in this game. From a pure scoring standpoint, Strozier does have 4 assists and 3 steals. Meggett at the line, the junior, misses the first.
And that's why Strozier's such a well-known player around the state, the ability to, even when he's not scoring a lot, still contribute. But with Meggett at the line for Drew, he's one of those pieces that they've been able to fold in that has developed in the chemistry throughout the year for Drew. Having all the weapons they do, Meggett's one of the upperclassmen who late is going to be relied on both ways.
Drew is Meggett is the 6th different Drew player to score today, but only 4 Eagles have even made a basket on the floor. Long hanging J, and Lorenzo Johnson drills it. Fourth quarters when he comes alive. It's a scary sign for Drew Charter.
Hand in the face, doesn't matter. Johnson rises up and connects there.
Taylor flails it, leaves it well short. 5-point edge for Warren County. The basketball, Meggett the interception. Kenyatta Bennett's come to the scorer's table, ready to check back in for Drew. Strozier feeds it inside to Taylor, point-blank range. He finishes. That's Strozier passing up a look at 3 for the better pass and better shot.
And he's done that a few times today. Cedric Taylor on the inside. Feed the beast. He has been a hot hand going at it all day.
That gives Taylor 9 points. Loose ball in a scrum, and Strozier has it. A chance to cut it to 1. Meggett lays it in. It'll go to the line with a chance to tie it. Israel Meggett didn't score in the first 3 quarters. He's put up the last 3 points for Drew Charter.
Well, there it is, Meggett. We talked about how the glue guys have got to show up, and Drew Charter's got those options. We didn't see it from Meggett early on, but take a look at this finish. Through contact, gets nailed on the shot, and then flexes his way out to the free throw line for this attempt here.
He's got 3 of the last 5 points, including that Cedric Taylor bucket. And he misses a free throw, 1 for 3 from the stripe.
We got a sense of it very early on. This is going to be that classic type of evenly matched team. Could come down to the last possession. Whoever's caught it might be the one that wins.
Justin Burnett, pestered by Meggett. Passes it off to Rashad Myers. He tries to break down Johnson, losing his handle, and the foul call gives the Devils a break.
And you mentioned it heading into the quarter. It's got the feeling in here it's going to be a finish, all kinds of tension in the room. And you see that time from Drew playing higher on the defensive side. They want to come out, keep Warren County from being able to even establish and get into that half-court offense, just trying to make them uncomfortable.
That foul against Cam Johnson, that's his third at this point in the game with just over 5 minutes left in the fourth. I don't think he's going anywhere, but he has been everything. The game's leading scorer with 15 points on 10 shots. Lorenzo Johnson leads Warren County with a dozen. Convante Brinkley with 11 as well.
Yeah, and the thing for Cam is his fouls have not been cheap fouls. It's been hustling for the ball, that time trying to get out and just laying his body out for it, and he gets called for the foul in the process. That's the type of thing. It hasn't been any cheap, tacky fouls for Cam. He's going really hard out there. He will have to continue to be even more careful down the stretch with his style of play.
Johnson inbounds it. Eagles fans making a lot of noise. It's Raekwon Myers with it. Off to Lorenzo Johnson. He was absolute nails in the fourth quarter in the semifinal win over Manchester. This is a big shot. He drills it.
When you need someone to create your own shot, again, Lorenzo Johnson is your man. That time comes up about 13 feet away with the J.
Jacoby Strozier, meanwhile, may look to answer. Triplet, the extra pass to Meggett. Three-pointer dies in the corner of the rim. Warren County a chance to make this a two-possession game. Johnson gets a high ball screen. Pick and roll. Johnson to himself. Kicks it back out. And it's Brinkley who collects the hot pass inside, and he lays it in.
Feels like it's been a second since we've heard from him, but he shows up late.
And Cam Johnson, wide open spaces. He's got his first points in the fourth quarter. Now 17. He's 7 of 11 from the floor.
And there's Cam hustling his way down the floor. Does all the little things right for Drew Charter.
Midway point of the fourth quarter. Brinkley, defense crashes in on him, and it'll stick with the Screaming Devils. They'll say Strozier, the last one to touch it. Kenyatta Bennett entering in for Charter, for Drew. And Israel Meggett, who gave them quite the lift in those 4 fourth quarter minutes, will head to the bench. Inbounds goes to Johnson, pressed by Triplet on the wing. Alley-oop! Brinkley left it just short, but the tap-in falls. Good poise by Brinkley.
Yeah, Brinkley going up and getting it done on the inside again.
Johnson to the rim. He can't finish. And smothering the rebound, Lorenzo Johnson. He gave the Rock a bear hug there.
Just enough inside for you defensively from Warren County.
The Screaming Devils took the lead in the final minute of the first half. They have yet to relinquish it, and timeout called by former Screaming Devil himself, Uriah Myrick. He and James Jennings trying to bring the first state boys basketball championship and the first basketball championship to Warrenton, Georgia in 40 years. One more look at this bucket. Alley-oop was good, and then whoo-hoo. Brinkley knew he'd left it short, went up and got it.
Well, there he is, Brinkley, moving off the ball on the backside of the play to find some way to get open, and the buckets get harder and harder to come by here as they go, and Brinkley working really well, showing off that chemistry for Warren County.
Screaming Devils hooping and hollering, and now that young fan enjoying the big screen time. He's got the rally towel and everything. State championship hanging in the balance. A 5-point edge for Warren County. They've got the basketball. Just over 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Brinkley's been hot lately. The extra pass is blocked. Jacoby Strozier soared into the rafters to swat away that attempt. Bobbled loose. Brinkley with it. This is Burnett. No, loose ball. Strozier has it. Will they push? No, he backs off. It's Taylor on the left side. Corner three, Bennett with a big shot. Halfway down, Taylor the offensive board. He goes up with it. No, but draws the contact and the foul. And Taylor's going to go to the line for two.
Taylor's in a spot of his own out there. Taller, longer than anybody on the floor. It's Taylor Island down low, and he's going at it that time, drawing the foul. But that's a mismatch if you ever see it. The way he's been explosive today and able to take advantage of his size and his smoothness on the inside.
He made two massive free throws against Social Circle to tie that game and force overtime. As Makai Reed returns, replacing Cam Johnson, who has 3 fouls. No one else on the floor with more than 2. Gotta imagine that's a short breather for Johnson. Maybe a little offense to defense there. Drew Charter has 2 timeouts. Warren County a 3-point lead and 3 timeouts in their back pocket. Raquan Myers showing some good handles. Now it's Burnett who has it knocked loose. Makai Reed forces a loose ball. And Drew has it. And Triplett misses the layup. Still a 3-point lead. Oh, those 2 points for Triplett, though. He puts his face underneath his jersey. Cedric Taylor says, "You're fine. Don't worry about it. We're good." Oh,
2:17
got to be
to
kicking
go.
himself.
Yeah, and you look at this right now. Drew County's going to have to move into the press. It's going to change their game here with it, of course, being 1 possession late. And for Drew, it's all in the defense here. They haven't had to look to their pressure very much today. We'll see how it pays off late.
Rashad Myers enters 2 in black for Warren County. That last foul was against Triplett, his first. Both teams with 3. Just over 2 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Brinkley to the rim, stuffed. Another block for Cedric Taylor. That's his 3rd. The other way. Around the horn. Strozier to Taylor to tie. No, just off the back iron. 48-45. How much clock can Warren County kill? Burnett has the C part ahead of him. Can't finish. And that ball lasts off the Eagles and B.J. Triplett. So 1:36, Luke. Both teams with multiple timeouts. Warren County with 3. You can see it, the energy in the eyes from Coach Myrick. Telling the team, settle down. We lead by 3.
For Warren County, there's no shot clock here. You've got plenty of time to get the look you want, but no one will be surprised if this ball ends up in the hands of Lorenzo Johnson for the late shot.
Rashad Myers down the left side. Justin Burnett at the top, guarded by Triplett. Back to Myers. And, oh, did we have a foul before the turnover? Or no, timeout. Yes, timeout called. Ooh, 6th sense there from Warren County coach Myrick. It looked like Triplett was about to steal that ball back for Drew Charter, but instead Warren County retains possession, and they still have 2 timeouts left. 1:23 on the clock.
Yeah, you take a look here situationally for Drew Charter. You got to come up with something big. You look into your bag for the opportunity. The momentum feels like it's on the Drew side. They've been chipping away and keeping it close because of the crowd. The momentum feels that way. Now for Warren County, again, continuing to play this sound kind of game, the type of team that has good leadership. They have the good IQ. They've handled situations late very well this year. The way they've closed games, of course, has gotten them to this point, but you mentioned the 1-point or 2-point victories they've had in the playoff run to get themselves here. They're seasoned and used to it, maybe a little more so than Drew, but on the flip side, Drew just came off an overtime game, so both teams have been proven late.
Warren County, 11 offensive rebounds. That's got to be a focus for Drew. Is if they can't create the turnover and they get a missed shot, they got to get the rebound. Now a dangerous pass. Johnson retrieves it, and at the 93rd foot mark, a foul is called. Not sure if it was Triplett or Makai Reed who picked it up, but that'll be the 4th foul on Drew. It'll be on Makai Reed. That's his 3rd. And now a baseline inbounds coming, just enough on it to get to Brinkley. And now Rashad Myers brings it across. Myers floats it to the corner. Brinkley had it underneath but couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Has to get it back out. 3-point edge for Warren County. They've got the ball. Burnett to Brinkley. The layup blocked by Cedric Taylor. That's his 5th block shot. And it'll be Warren County basketball with a minute on the clock. And now Triplett, left hand up to his mouth. Looks like he might have taken a shot. Coach Myrick for Warren County trying to help him out.
The rim protection from Taylor, you take a look at that play. Here's what's impressive. His feet and his shoulders square to the near side. Ball flips behind him. He's able to flip his entire body around, get up, and block that shot in an instant. It's been impressive today to watch him protect the rim.
I beg your pardon. Drew Charter awarded the basketball. So they're down by 3. They got the steal, Luke. Do you go for a 3 or do you just take the best available shot?
They're in the position you want. They've had some great three-point looks today. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another one.
They are 5 of 20 from distance, 0 of 4 in this fourth quarter. 45 seconds. Johnson to tie it. No, rebounded Taylor. He's got it. Drew's going to get a second crack at it. Strozier trying to handle it. And timeout called by Coach St. Clair. Didn't like the way things were breaking down. 33 seconds left. Drew Charter with the basketball, a chance to tie it.
When you get into that offensive board as a player out there, you're saying, okay, how much time do we have? And then there's this frantic urge, and then Coach Sinclair's calling the timeout. There's 33.4 seconds left. Tons of time to get exactly what you're looking for on the offensive end. They had the three-point look. They missed it. You talked about the offensive boards being a point of emphasis for Drew here late. They're able to convert. Again, Taylor has come up big. If Drew Charter can pull this off or tie this game, Taylor has to be a player of the game candidate with the way that he's played today and the numbers he's put out. But for them, they're going to have their opportunity here late. They've fought hard throughout the game. They've put themselves in this position, and right now that's all you can ask for.
Drew has trailed this game for a full 2 quarters. The last time we were tied, there were 35 seconds left in the second quarter. They've cut it to as little as 1. That was earlier in this fourth quarter. It was 42-41, about 5.5 minutes left. Israel Meggett missed a free throw that could have tied it. 48-45. Inbound coming from Triplett. Somebody's got to get open. It goes to Cedric Taylor. Triplett around to Strozier. Hadn't made a shot all day today. That one's not going to fall, but it'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Didn't take much time off the clock, so there's still a lot left to do. But for Strozier, he's hit big free throws late in games, and this is going to be his opportunity on the offensive side to come up and make up for some of that production we might have been expecting but haven't seen yet from him today. With 27 seconds left, you can foul. There's all different kinds of opportunities here to game it up late.
And now Drew Charter, they got to be thinking about that missed layup from Brian Triplett with about 2 minutes left. A golden opportunity. Now Strozier is 1 of 3 from the free throw line today. Got to get this one. He makes the second. All right, the entry pass is going to come from Lorenzo Johnson. 27.7 ticks. And there's the foul from B.J. Triplett. And now, 5th foul on Drew. 1 more, and Warren County will be at the line. 2-point ball game. Long inbounds pass, complete to Burnett, and he's fouled by Jacoby Strozier. And
they're going to want the continuation.
Yeah, Warren County wants the continuation, but that's not going to happen.
No, not when you're fouled out beyond the three-point line especially. But you look here at Warren late, got to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, and one of them today has been Burnett. He's that floor general. When you need something big, he's been the one that's provided it throughout the night.
68% free throw shooter this year. These are his first attempts this afternoon. 1-1. Got it. That's clutch.
It's huge. Again, when you have somebody in this leadership type position, they trust him a lot. There's not really anybody outside of maybe Lorenzo Johnson they'd rather have in this situation, trying to put away this game.
They call Burnett the floor general. They've got a sub set to come in for Burnett. If he makes the shot, it's Rashad Myers to make it a two-possession ball game with 23 seconds left. He got it. Justin Burnett hits them both, and now Rashad Myers will sub. Drew has one timeout left. They trail by 4. And Johnson will let this one roll as long as he can before pressured by Myers. Bennett with a 3. He hit it! Kenyatta Bennett! A huge three-pointer and timeout called by Drew. Bennett with the shot of his life to make it a one-point game. Drew was 0 for 6 from 3 in this quarter. And Bennett just hit it to cut it to 1. How about the sophomore? Ice in his veins.
That is massive. You come down the floor. You're Drew, you know you need something quick, so give it out. Bennett has hit a 3 today. Give it to him on the catch and shoot opportunity from the corner, and it is absolute cash. And Bennett comes up huge. The crowd back behind Drew Charter. They're looking for the state championship victory, but still down 1 point. They've got some work to do. So you see one more look at it. Left wing, the three-pointer. Nothing but net there. So you come out, you're going to have to foul again, try to get the ball back and recapture that magic here as you've got under 17 seconds left in the quarter.
Drew is now out of timeouts. Warren County with 2. Possession arrow favoring the screaming, or rather, I think it's favoring Drew Charter actually. Yes, favoring Drew Charter according to the scorer's table. Big inbounds. Music is still going. It's knocked loose by Taylor, and Taylor goes up. He gets 2 free throws. Cedric Taylor with a huge steal. And Drew has a chance to take their first lead since late in the first half.
That is unbelievable. Again, Taylor, the length right on top of the ball. It comes into play, and he's able to get a big wing on that thing. And now here he is late.
It was last Saturday against Social Circle. He had to make 2 free throws to force overtime in the final 20 seconds. He makes 1 to force a tie. He makes them both. Drew's got the lead. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line today. And we're tied at 50. One more look at this steal. His length has caused problems all day. And he's fouled by Justin Burnett for the lead in the state final. Drew's ahead for the first time since the first half. Warren County has 2 timeouts. They give it to Burnett. He hands it ahead, and it's in and out of the hands of Raquavian Jones, and the ball belongs to Drew with 8 seconds left. No timeouts for Drew. This game is not over. Warren County still has 2 timeouts. Taylor's going to inbound it, and right now Warren County's got to find a way to bring themselves together here. Drew's still got to make some free throws. Streaming Devils got to keep their composure here. They will not guard the inbound Taylor. They get it into Strozier, and Strozier will go to the line, where he is 2 of 4 this afternoon. He is 0 of 6 from the field. He's one of their leaders. You knew he was going to be thrust into a big situation at some point today, and here it is.
Well, that is for sure. How about Drew Charter pulling off the free throws there from Taylor? You make it work, and now you're going to be at the line with the opportunity that Warren County had just seconds of game clock ago, where you're trying to put the game away at the stripe.
Both of these teams playing a 3rd straight nail-biter. The quarterfinals were both decided by a single possession. Semifinals, 1 in overtime, 1 by a point. Strozier at the line. 1-and-1, he misses it. And the rebound to Warren County. 3 seconds ahead. The extra pass. And he doesn't get it off. Drew Charter wins the state final. 51-50. A 5-0 run for Drew Charter in the final 25 seconds. Unbelievable. Final 30 seconds to close this one out. And a look here at the last play. Even if it wasn't contested there by Jacoby Strozier, I'm not sure they would have gotten the shot off in time.
Doesn't look like they would have. And on the defensive end, Cedric Taylor comes up with a big one. If you're looking for a player of the game, I think that's got to be your guy, him or Cam Johnson.
And Lorenzo Johnson being hugged by his family, the senior who has had such a just unreal career at Warren County. But for Drew Charter, Cedric Taylor, our player of the game for the Eagles as Drew wins their first state championship. Academy Sports and Outdoors player of the game, Cedric Taylor, and he had so many big moments in this one, none bigger than his free throws to give Drew the lead, the steal that preceded it. And again, not only does he have a big impact offensively, but defensively, Taylor with 5 blocks in the defensive end. And for Warren County, devastation as they're the runners-up in Class 1A public.
Well, Warren County had a spectacular season, a great run led by Johnson. Their group was very strong, but today it was Drew Charter's day. They had so many different players come up big. Even Strozier didn't have the best game, but he was able to set up his teammates. Cedric Taylor got going. Cam Johnson was going early and often. Kenyatta Bennett hit a big 3 late. You look at Bryant Triplett, who was able to get things done even when he missed the layup. He had hit 3s previously. They had so many different players step up throughout this game. Israel Meggett had a 5-point run. And that's where you take a look at this group for Drew Charter and you say, congratulations, they have earned it. They came back late. They stayed tough, and they made it happen here in Macon.
They finished the year 31-1. Coach Samir St. Clair is now 56-2 at Drew Charter. Your final score, the Drew Charter Eagles edge the Warren County Screaming Devils 51-50. A big thanks to our entire crew, our cameraman Tim Knott, Ian Russell, our production crew Ben Halpern, and director and producer Stephen Lawler. For Luke Winstall, I'm Wiley Ballard saying so long and good afternoon. Drew Charter, the Class 1A Public State Champions in a thriller here at the Macon Coliseum. You saw it all on the NFHS Network.